I swear before God, if I had Donald Trump's money and his lawyers, I will sue your asses. But shout out to, that's why you are being highlighted tonight. Let's see if we have sound. Let's see if we have sound. Okay, we do. You know what I noticed, guys? Let me just put my headphones in so you can hear me properly. Not my headphones. Let me put this in so I can hear, so you all can hear me properly. Um, and put my mic in. How how is it now? I think I found something out with YouTube. Let me see. I found something out with YouTube and I'm going to contact them again because since they have done this to me so many times, I now know why it happens and when it happens. Perfect. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Happy Saturday, family. We are doing a Friday night fright special, but it's on Saturday. Yesterday I was a little too busy, but because today is April 4th, right? 4/4, which is a profound day. I say, you know what? Let me just go ahead and change it to today. Well, I'm just trying to put my mic on. The type of shirt that I have on, it doesn't want to stay. My shirt is very, very flimsy, if that makes sense. Okay, so let me just start this off with saying this because um let me see. So today, like I said, is a profound day. Let me see. I had it on here, but I had it on my other phone, so I had to put it on this phone. So the spiritual meaning of 4/4 is a powerful sign of protection, encouragement, and guidance from the universe of angels. So that's what it was saying. Like it's an angel number 4/4. So today, in my mind, I love numbers. So I have to share that with you all. I don't know. That's just me. But like I always see, that's why sometimes I feel like I am, what is it, neurodivergent, like on the spectrum, which I think many people are on the spectrum. We don't know. I think Chrisette Michelle found out that she was on the spectrum at the age that she is now as a grown woman. But I see combinations of numbers, 11, 11, 2, 2, and I pick up my phone or look at the time somewhere at a digital clock and I see it. And I'm like, wow, okay, so seeing 444, well, this is 444. I want it 44, but I think it's pretty much the same thing. But it means progress, stability, and intuitive trust. It acts as a reminder to trust your inner wisdom and intuition, which I'm learning to do. Um, Progress and stability, alignment and grounding indicates your actions and thoughts are aligning with your higher purpose, urging you to stay grounded, patient, and focused on your goals. I need one more thing so I can look at you all's comments at the same time. Let me just go and get one more device. Like I'm not working with three devices already, right? Where's my iPad? Okay, so it says divine protection and support. It is a message that guardian angels or higher powers are surrounding you with support, providing reassurance during uncertain times. And this is just what's funny is I didn't even read this. Y'all know a lot of times I don't read things before I just come up on here. And for that reason, I do that for a reason. So everything is raw and fresh. But I want to be able to look at y'all comments at the same time. So let me just sign on to this and then I should be good to go. Now we're going to start. I'm going to start with saying welcome. Thank you to all my members in the membership. I appreciate you for being a part of the family and keeping this channel going. I know I haven't seen you all this week, but things are crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, things are crazy, but they're crazy on the good side, right? So after Monday, I feel like I should have some type of there we go. After Monday, I should have some type of freedom. Just a very smidge. But I'm thinking I should have some type of freedom, you know? But right now I literally only have a couple hours because I have to hop into a meeting with a few people, and that is at 9. So, okay, let's get here. Okay, there we go. So let me turn the volume down, and I want to be able to look at the comments while we are doing this. Give me a second, you all. I'm on an Apple, and y'all know I don't know how Apple works. If you know me, then you know I don't understand Apple. Where are the comments? No, that's not it. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Hold on. Why can't I see the comments, y'all? Do I have to be subscribed? Do I have to be signed in? Oh, Apple. Okay. Oh, I tell y'all, if y'all would ask me, why don't you like Apple products? Because these mother son of a loving products, they never, ever, ever, ever work for me. They never work for me. Or maybe I just don't know how to use them. Or maybe I just need to be signed in. Okay, so let me just use my tablet, right? My Galaxy, like, okay, you got me thrown over here to the side, but you know I've been trusted with you. That damn Apple product can't be trusted, girl. Okay. You can't trust Apple. You can't trust them, but I can't trust YouTube either. So let's get this party started. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday, happy 4/4. If you are a spiritual person, just make sure you tune into, just check in with yourself, if that makes sense. Just check in with yourself, right? Today is 4/4. I hope you had a great spiritual day, whether you recognized it or not. Today is 4. Okay, so I had to turn that down. Whether you recognize it or not, I hope you had a great day. I did have a great Saturday. Um, Greetings, Katie. So me is 222. Once you what wait until you all hear or see. I just made a compilation, just a screenshot. If I see a date and it's one of those numbers. If it's 1111, 111, 222, 333, 444, it's just so weird, right? One day I saw 222, 333, and 444, I think at the same at the different hours. And it's just when you're not even looking and you just happen to pick up your phone, I'm like, screenshot. Because I just feel like God is telling me some things are happening. And the things that I have been working towards for a very long time, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm grateful. I want some ice in this water. Hmm. I am grateful. Okay, so um, it says in decision making, it's a nudge to trust your intuition, make decisions that bring stability to your life, particularly when changing careers or relationships. During challenges, if you're feeling overwhelmed, this says 444, but it says 444 serves as a reassurance that you are not alone and that your hard work will lead to success. In daily life, it is often seen as a gentle prompt to stop overthinking, return to present moment, and trust the process. It's known as angel number, sign of protection, sign of guidance, cosmic reassurance. That's what I always look at it as. Alignment with purpose, symbol of balance. Okay. So for my numerology people out there, you probably understand that way more than I do. But yeah, so let's get into this. Now, this is in regards to y'all. I cannot deal. This is right here in Tucson. Attempted breach at gate. Davis Monthan. Did y'all hear about this week? This week, I think it was on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. There was a security breach at Davis Monthan. So, defenders of the 355 Security Forces Squadron at Davis Monthan Air Force Base stopped an attempted gate breach at approximately 8 a.m. on Monday, March 30th, 2026. A male driver not associated with the military attempted to drive through the Craycroft Gate. So if y'all, Craycroft, if you pay attention to when I'm driving down there to that church to get free food on this on whatever Saturday it is, um, I make a right onto Craycroft, right? So Craycroft is down there, but at the Craycroft gate, and was stopped when security personnel activated vehicle barriers. Now, why in the world somebody would do this is beyond me. I just don't understand people. So the suspect drove past the guard shack without stopping and crashed into the activated barriers. Now, I have been down there a couple times. It's only when my family comes to visit me and they're in the military, so we go down there and we go to the, what is it called, the exchange, the not my borough exchange, it's the borough exchange, I think is in the Gambia when we transfer our money. But it's the we go to the exchange and we buy some things and we get it for cheaper than what it actually costs, right? With some discounts, tax free, I don't know, something. But everybody wants to go to on the base to go shopping because they say it's better. So I've been down there a couple times. There was a detention and arrest. Security forces pulled the driver from the vehicle and detained him. He was subsequently taken into custody. I don't know why anybody in their right mind would go and do that, because I mean, I don't even know what the charges are, but I wouldn't want to be associated with that. So after the driver was detained, the vehicle, described as a white or silver van, caught fire. It caught fire, y'all. I can't deal. This world is going crazy. It caught fire. The Davis Monthan Fire Department responded and extinguished the blaze. Injuries. The driver was transported to a local hospital for injuries sustained during the crash or subsequent fire. So I don't know if this man was trying to unalive himself. Oh, Allah Akbar, boom. I don't know what he was going to do or say, but whatever he was trying to do, it didn't happen. So investigation, the Tucson Police Department, which is different from the Pima County Sheriff's Department, right? As far as I know, I don't get in trouble with the police, right? I don't have a mug shot. Woo woo. So yeah, I don't really understand that type of system. I do understand like true crime and investigation and the evidence and this, that, and the third, and the legal side of it, like, oh, he going to jail 5 to 10. But as far as like, oh, that's the police, this and fingerprints, only time I get myself fingerprinted is when it is for my global entry TSA. I don't want to fly right now because TSA is wilding, but for global entry, or when I get fingerprinted for being a teacher, right? I'm not getting fingerprinted because it's like, girl, Shantae, you are under arrest for what? No. But you can't say that for a lot of people that go back and forth to the Gambia and in the Gambia. Okay, yeah, and that was a stab in case you didn't know. Stab. Okay, so it says the Tucson Police Department is leading an active investigation into the incident, which includes a DUI investigation to determine if the driver was impaired. Now, just to give you previous context, August 1st, 2025, there was a fatal security incident at the same gate, and the man was shot and unalived by security forces after crashing into a barrier and attempting to reverse his vehicle. So yeah, that says Major Steve Hallman, commander of the 355 Security Forces Squadron, emphasized that defenders act in accordance with training and policy to ensure the safety of the installation. So that is that. So that's the first story. We're going to be covering a few stories. We are going to be covering a few things about Savannah Guthrie, and to those who celebrate, happy Easter or happy early Easter, because Easter is tomorrow. If you're going to church, make sure you get there early, because the churches are going to be packed. I don't know why people just go to church on Easter. I don't know. If anyone understands that, then let me know. But Easter, happy Easter to each and every one of you all. And just so you know, Miss Savannah Guthrie will be returning to. Okay, hold on, guys. So I have to do it a couple ways. Okay, please excuse this, but I rather do it this way, as a live this way, as opposed to what they doing fireworks for Easter, as opposed to use a StreamYard. So what I would have to do is, so you all won't see the screen, I have to block it out at times, but just bear with me. Okay, so that's what happened with that. Now, what are we going to talk about next? I do want to talk about Miss Savannah Guthrie. You all know that Miss Savannah Guthrie is going back to, she's going back to work on tomorrow. She's going back tomorrow. right? We know that she's heading back tomorrow. Is this the article? Wait, is this the article? Hold on. I think this is it. Okay, so let me see. Let me take this from here. All right, I'm learning. I'm learning, guys. I am learning to move things where they need to be moved. Here we go. Here we go. Make that smaller. Okay, and put that here. There we go. Okay, here we go. And what is this? Okay. So we have a few things to cover because the news has been, I don't know, people just losing their minds. We know that that's what happens, right? Why do I have all these screens open? Because you were working. That's why, girl. That's why you have all these screens open. Okay. Police handle issues. Thank you. Unforgivable sins. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I missed you all. Just know I'm not out here running these streets, okay? Just know Tay Tay is not out here running the streets. Tay Tay is handling her business, right? Just know that. Just know I'm not running the streets, okay? So let's get this. Oh, please, phone, don't fall. Okay, so we have, and let me see if I can get a little bit more light in here. I love that I keep in the daytime, I just get the natural sun, but let me see if I can get a little bit more light in here. And there we go. Okay, so we know that tomorrow, Miss Savannah Guthrie. Okay, now I have like every light on in the house. My mother would be so proud. So we know that Miss Savannah Guthrie is going back to, she's going back to work tomorrow, Easter. That is the day that she plans to return. And I know that those numbers are going to be phenomenal, right? Whether people just want to see her in action, to see, you know, for support or non-support is what I want to say, right? Sometimes you know how if somebody passes away, people are like, oh my gosh, um, they want to go to that place. I don't know. I think that's just humans and who we are as people. But they may be watching just to see what happens, how she is, or But kudos to her, you know, um, going back and trying to get some normalcy back into her life in spite of the um, roller coaster or chaos that's going on in her life right now. So shout out to her. Okay, so what is this? U.S. Army Chief of Staff asks to step down. Oh my gosh, we need to get rid of that. Yes, because we need this. Are you really going to just keep that? Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, all right. So let's see. So let's talk about this. Let me see what has going. A little this, a little that. Hello. No, that isn't. See, yes, I did say it right. Okay. Um. Okay. Perfect. And I can make it a little bit brighter. There we go. So let me pull it back a little bit more. Let me pull this back. We'll be right back. You know that the show All That. I feel so bad. The girl, the white girl that was chubby, she was alcoholic. I'm like, you know. 20 years from now, we're going to be looking back like, we didn't know about that. You hear about Brandy? You hear about Brandy? And broken hearted, life's not over. That song that she had with Wanye and when she was dating him and all this other stuff. And Wanye was 22 and she was 16. Well, she finally talked about that. But we're going to get to a story like that tonight as well. So this says Nancy Guthrie case, suspects not interested in preserving her life. Experts reveal sinister motives behind abduction. Okay, so we have two of these articles to yes, we have two of these articles to read. So this was 7 hours ago, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just make sure. Nope, that was 2 days ago. Okay, right? So okay, I do. Okay, I think she made the right decision. Life has to go on. She has kids and family. People are going to be tuned into the Today Show for sure. And I agree. because we know that when we're stressed out and we are home and we're going through something, you want to get back to the normalcy of things, because if not, you're going to be continuously focused on, oh my God, what's going on? This is day, what is this, day 63, right? I want to say it's like day 63 or day 64, right? Of Nancy being missing, abducted, and nobody knows what's going on. And now they bringing up old stuff for the sheriff. They bringing up old stuff. Y'all, I read two articles. One was in regards to some type of harassment on the job. I think that was in 2024. And it wasn't necessarily bullying or harassment. What they found out was he used the fact that he was a sheriff um, to come at his opponent, right? And kind of stifled her or whatever. So they were saying that wasn't bullying and harassment, but and then they went back into 2024 talking about the TSA. Then found, what did they say? The TSA found a loaded, not unregistered, but he didn't tell them that he was flying and he had a pow pow in his suitcase. And I'm like, damn, they bringing up oh shit. They don't want him there. They want him out. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm drinking water. Hi, Elisa. Happy Saturday. Um, and it's crazy, right? Like they bringing up old stuff, and I don't know if they bring it up old. Well, it looks like they're bringing up old stuff in specifics to the way this case was handled, right? They were saying that, I think I was looking at something on Brian Enton. Shout out to Brian Enton back in Tucson. They can't stay away from Tucson. Tucson is the shit. So, but they were saying that, the Pima County Sheriff Department releasing the house so early could have contaminated well, we know it did. It contaminated the crime scene. And now this is why they don't have any suspects. And I'm just like, well, shoot, a blind man could see that, but always, always. And I always have to use my, I used to just be able to drink water, but I had a headache yesterday and I had to drink the liquid IV. And I'm like, water doesn't just work for you anymore. So it says, amid growing concerns over the kidnapper's failure to provide proof of life for Nancy Guthrie, which is absolutely insane, an expert has warned that they may have no intention of keeping her alive. The 84-year-old grandmother has been missing for over 2 months now. So I was talking to someone today, and I was just like, they were like, the person was like, well, I don't think that she's still here. I think she's in Mexico. And I'm like, okay, well, why do you think she's in Mexico? I'm like, do you think that they're keeping her alive? Well, yeah. I said, but okay, so for what reason? Right? Because if they took her to Mexico and the people that took her aren't wealthy, right? What's going to happen? Well, now they have another mouth to feed. They have someone else that they need to take care of, and she's elderly, right? I personally think that she's around here. The longer it gets, I just don't know if she's still with us. That's what I don't know, because this is the thing. Because there hasn't been any more, I mean, there have been ransom notes, right? But at this point, it's like I could probably write a ransom note, and I wouldn't do that, right? I wouldn't do that. That's immoral. It's illegal. But most importantly, it's insensitive, right? That's why would I put myself into a case like that, right? I wouldn't do something like that. I'm crazy on other levels, but I'm not that crazy. So, so what would be the purpose of them kidnapping her and just keeping her, right? It doesn't make any sense. You're just going to keep the woman. You don't want anything. You just wanted to kidnap somebody's grandmother and take care of them. No. So I don't know. At first I was thinking, I'm like, she's still here. She's still here. I hope she's still here. But the way things are looking, maybe she was unalive by mistake, and now they're like, oh well, look, I got to keep my mouth shut and keep my hands clean. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, there's a woman named Maria Munoz, right? Maria Munoz was married to Joel. Joel had a nice job. He was very humble at first, blah blah blah. Then he got a job, I think, working in the hospital. I don't know if he was a pharmacy tech. I don't know, but he was around meds, right? Surgical meds. And then he started taking testosterone. So that made him a little crazy. So, so Joel starts messing with somebody else, some woman. Unfortunately, women will fight each other instead of fighting the dude, right? When the loyalty comes from him. So Joel ends up unaliving Maria, right? Um, Joel ends up unaliving Maria. And if it wasn't for like the ring camera or some type of doorbell camera, he would have got away with it. Now, let me connect that. Um, Joel's girlfriend. Joel told Maria, "I'm leaving you." Da 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 da. She going back and forth with him. She gives him a heart to heart. He in the car eating. She was like, "Then I should just file for a divorce." He said, "Then do what you want. F you," right? And got out the car. Wow, I think that was a testosterone because they said Joel was a nice person. Now, the point that I'm making is, like I said before, and multiple times in my lives, is how people that are dating someone may keep their mouth shut. So Joel had a girlfriend, right? The girlfriend calls the police. Well, she came over here. He do you have this? So the police ends up calling Maria. Maria has done everything that she was supposed to do, but she was brokenhearted, right? She loved this dude. She had children with him, whatever, whatever. So the girl, the mistress says, the police officer asked her, if she comes around here again, what do you want? Do you want her arrested? She said yes. Of course she wants her arrested because she wants the wife out the picture so she can get this man. But how is this dude a prize? How is he a prize? He's leaving his wife and his children to be with you. So you think that he's going to treat you differently because your vajayjay is different from hers? Girl, bye. Okay, she's covering for him, covering for him. It wasn't until the police officer said to her, they offered her a deal. I don't think they should have offered her anything, but they offered her little raggedy behind a deal so that they can get him because he's the one that did the unaliving. I don't. I hate that they be given immunity to these people, and I'm like, they kept this a secret. They wasted taxpayers' money and resources to keep their mouth shut until they got immunity. And then she's like, well, he came home and he said that he may have gave her something, right? Maria was very upset, very upset. And she said she wanted a divorce, but I guess he had a little money. So he was like, oh, I've really been thinking about it. He sent her email. I've really been thinking about it. We should sit down. We should talk about it. Blah, blah, blah. She went that one last time and he gave her a shot to calm her down. Now, if this dude has been treating me like SHIT, he's been cussing me out, ain't no way I'm going to trust this little mother son of a lover with my health. Women, we got to start loving ourselves better than these dudes, right? Or your partners, period, right? Okay. She gives him her arm. He shoots her up with propofol. He didn't unalived her. Then he says that she unalived herself. That's what he said. Now, his mistress knew all of this. So this is why I say when it comes to what has happened to Miss Guthrie, right? These people know something. Someone knows something. And it's not going, these women will keep them, they will keep their mouth shut. How are you going to lay in the bed beside someone that has told you that they unalive someone? What in the hell type of self-respect is going on or not going on? Jesus, take the wheel. So I know that someone knows something in the Nancy Guthrie abduction. They're just keeping their mouth shut. And with the president saying that whomever, if she's not alive, if she's not brought back alive, then he's pushing the DOJ to go after them for the death penalty. So I think a lot of people are just going to keep their mouth shut for sake of themselves. Yes, they did treat her as a walkaway because this is a retirement community, and they think that she had wandered off. But let's take this a little bit further, a little this and that, a little of this and a little of that. Brian video did say that they treated her as a walkaway or as a person that wandered off. But wasn't her family there from gate? Didn't her brother say, because that's what Savannah said. Savannah said when they called her, the sister upset, everything going on, the police there, this, that, and the third. And the brother got on the phone and the brother said, this looked like a kidnapping. It looks like mom was abducted. So why wouldn't they listen to him? Isn't he trained? I mean, he's not trained in law enforcement, but he's trained in the military. So how many times do the police just say, whatever? They said that with my stalker, whatever. But I'm like, I'm not going to wait for the police to protect me. I'm going to, right? Cock that back myself. I'm going to protect myself, because so many times the police are not coming around until someone is unalive. Now they got money to investigate. So the brother said what it was from gate. So they must have ignored him. But you see blood. The door is propped open. So you think she just, even if that is what you thought, you still need to investigate it. I'm thinking, I'm not police, but I'm still thinking you need to investigate it. The family know her more than. So yeah, it was not treated properly. It was not done properly. I don't know who love to know. Trying to escape where. Okay, so you a little of this says a little of this, a little of that says, I don't know, would love to know. I wonder if she's trying to escape where she is, or if they unalived her after leaving the home. I want to know if before the pacemaker disconnected, did her heart stop or spike? What were the conditions? Now, I think that they will be able to trace that. They will be able to see that she probably, that's a great point. They have the report because they know that it spiked at 2 something in the morning, right, where she was scared. So they know that it spiked. But my thing is what was the rest of that report? A little of this, a little of that. That's very interesting. What was the rest of that report? Okay, so they said that it was an incident, like like something scared her. Did her heart rate go back down? What did from 216 to 228? What was her EKG reading? What was it like? Was it normal heart rate, normal sinus rhythm, right? Was it tachycardia? Was it, bradycardia, right? Yeah, they think that I didn't know that, right? So if they, my thing is what was it? That's a great point. That's a great point. Because they would be able to see if it stayed up high, if it went back down low, if it went really low from the time that it spiked, where she was afraid, up until it went away on 228. That is a great point. A little of this, a little of that. That's a great point. The heart doctor would know. That's what I've been thinking about. So maybe that is something that they still kept, that the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department kept to themselves, because that will show. They said it disconnected. They would have known if she was unalive, if it just went asystole. They would have known that. So, in my opinion, I think that they kept her alive, right? They kept her alive because they wanted ransom. And maybe something happened. She's 84. She has a pacemaker. Maybe it was too much on her heart. Maybe they didn't have her medication. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so it says, though the Guthrie family received ransom demand shortly after Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, the kidnappers did not come forward with proof of life. And that was within days. So if these people, it's just too many questions. It's like, okay, so if this happened, well, how did that happen, right? If they were watching her and they kind of knew her, or they knew of her, did they not know that she may have been on some medication, right? Did they not know that she has walking problems? Like, it's like, if you know this, then you have to know something else. And then it's like, okay, so y'all kidnapped her and y'all forgot her medication. They probably in the room or wherever. You forgot her meds. She's gonna die. I don't know. There are too many. There are just too many variables in this case. And then it's like, okay, so then where is she? If she is, God forbid, she is unalive, then where is she? In this vast desert? Jesus, y'all, she could be anywhere. Oh my gosh, I'm getting heart palpitations just thinking about it. So it says, meanwhile, the family also announced that Nancy Guthrie was in fragile health as she depended on as she depended on critical medication and a pacemaker. Um, we know that her devices were left behind. The Nancy Guthrie theory: what were blood pressure rates before the device removed? Does it alarm medical help? That's interesting. Wasn't we were just talking about this, and I didn't even. All I did was click on this. I didn't even read it. Her medicine was left behind at home. Her pacemaker stopped sending signals to her phone during her alleged abduction. Well, that's not true because I thought it was after her alleged abduction. An expert has now stated that the abductors left the critical medical devices behind because they might not have intended on keeping Nancy Guthrie alive. Then why kidnap her? Then that means it was just nefarious. They just had they just wanted to kill. Then they just want to, because if you're going to abduct someone or kidnap them, you're not going to, you don't want any money. Well, then that's a totally different way of looking at it, right? Oh, I just wanted, that's the way Dr. Q may have been looking at it. But I hope that that's not it, because then that's going to make Savannah feel even worse. She's the baby, but I feel bad. I know she carries guilt. She brought her mom on the show, this, that, and the third. We know that when she brought her mother on the show, we know that those ratings were astronomical. Do you, if you think that the ratings were high, then put some yellow hearts in the chat, because we know that the people that watch this, of course, is like, oh, her mom is on here. And we know, as as an anchor, your producer has to go out and find stories. So I feel bad, because I do know that I just hope I hope, and I hope that they're, I don't want to say I know, but I hope that they're in therapy. Every one last one of the people that knew Nancy, I hope they're in therapy, because there's going to be guilt thrown all around. Even if we're not blaming them, they're going to feel guilty, because the ball was dropped with Nancy in certain areas, right? Certain things, she should have been more protected if she was on TV like that. That's just what I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Raven. Thank you, Crystal. In Carlos' detainment, it says they were looking for meds and medical equipment. Oh, thank you for that. Little this, a little that. Thank you for that. That makes sense, right? They were looking for meds and medical equipment. Yep. Okay, so it says, because if you kidnap someone and you have no intention on keeping them alive, that's just a whole different, that's just diabolical. Because it's like, oh, I'm just going to kidnap her and just kill her. I don't understand that. Deputy Coroner Commander Dr. Laura Petler made the remark during a recent interview with TMZ. She said the offender or offenders did not choose to take Nancy's health-related items that she would have needed to have survived. She added, and so on, because there are no life-saving measures that went into her abduction. My question would be, were you interested in preserving her life at all? Same question I have. Or have you taken Nancy Guthrie for some nefarious reason? I swear before God, I did not read this article, but it shows that, Tay, you know what the hell you're talking about. Related to your own drives, your own psychopathy, your own motives within yourself, and you've never had any interest in her survival. That, I need a moment of silence for that. That's just throw the F word in there. That is really messed up. So hence, Dr. Pedler believes kidnappers could have abducted Nancy, not for money, but for some other sinister reason. She explained that kidnappers seek ransom, usually ensure the victim stays alive, yes, as that is their only chance of getting paid. Exactly. People who are interested in money are interested in survival, because they need the person alive. Typically, like on Man on Fire, he said, Peter's dead. He said, a dead girl is nothing to me. I'm a businessman. Typically, to create a scenario, where can they ask for money to get the person back? People who are interested in money are interested in survival because they need the person alive, typically to create a scenario where they can ask for the money to get the person back. And so I'm not sure that they were interested in her survival. So that's one of the things Dr. Peddler included. This is MSN.com concluded. She was ready to, Nancy was ready, Nancy's family was ready to pay the kidnappers. Nancy Guthrie, daughter today, Savannah, has repeatedly said that she's ready to talk and pay the kidnappers in exchange for the safe return of her mother. This was early in the investigation. Various media houses received ransom notes from alleged kidnappers seeking $6 million in Bitcoin. However, investigators reportedly stopped the family from paying the amount unless they received proof of life. But oh man, this is the, okay, I'm going to finish this sentence and then I'm going to say what I need to say. Recent reports also just suggested that one of the ransom notes was allegedly an apology letter. That was a recent one, which stated that Nancy Guthrie had gone to be with God. Shit. Okay, now, if they would have paid, wouldn't they have been able to still track it? Honestly, if I had 6 million, if I was all of these family members, all of her children and friends and family in the church, they would have. I thought I heard something, you all. That's all right. I got this gun out here. So they would have, if they would have still let them pay, right? Of course they say don't pay, don't pay, don't pay if you don't have, don't pay, don't pay. But if they would have let them pay, wouldn't they have been able to track it? Like, go ahead and pay. We don't have any other evidence, because now we're at day 60 plus and nothing. No ransom notes, but the apology letter. I'm sorry, but Nancy went to be with God. Okay, Ninja, then tell us where her body is so we can, the community, the family can rest and put her to peace. But I don't know if they would want to do that. You're sending a ransom note. You could just draw a picture. It's here. I don't understand the torment, but I'm also not a criminal, so I guess I will never understand the torment. Didn't they put $300 into a bank account to track it? There was some money that was put in, taken out, stuff like that. But I feel like if they would have did the 6 million, they would have been able to trace that. The FBI would have been on that. Okay, where's this money going? Okay, this, that. I feel like they would have been able to trace it. But now the authority said, oh, don't send the money because blah, blah, blah. They don't send the money. And now it's like, you're not hearing anything now except for apology letter. An alleged apology letter, which stated that Nancy Guthrie had gone to be with God. Okay. Then on that same apology letter on the back, you could have drew, okay, she is here. This is the well. She's on the side of the well. Something. I don't know. Okay, so X account, Nerdy at Nerdy Addict quoted sources claiming that the kidnapper sent an apology message to the Guthrie family, stating that they did not realize how fragile Nancy Guthrie's health was while abducting her. Well, that means you didn't really do your job. Were y'all stupid or were you not? They did a good job of hiding her. Unfortunately, out here in the desert, it could take 10. The sheriff was right. Somebody may be walking somewhere they ain't supposed to be walking, and they see a bone, and they're like, oh my God, what is this? That's how 10, 20, 30 years later, they find bones, and that's how they find people's bodies out here. Probably here, New Mexico, probably somewhere in California, where California meets Arizona and Nevada. It's all desert. It's just all desert, just vast land where you could drive 75 miles per hour. That's how it is from Tucson to Phoenix. It's 75 miles per hour. That's what the speed limit is. I have never been on a highway that was 75 miles per hour until I moved here. I said, oh, then people like, I need to go 100. Why? If you're going 80, that's fast enough. However, neither investigators nor the Guthrie family have commented on this claim. So that's just what Nerdy Addict quoted. Meanwhile, the investigation into Nancy Guthrie's disappearance continues even after more than 2 months. The Pima County Sheriff's Department and the Federal Bureau of Investigation are still gathering clues from Nancy Guthrie's neighbors to find out what happened to this elderly woman. This is absolutely insane. Bitcoin can be tracked, but it takes a long time until they withdraw it. Yes, because once they withdraw it, they have to have some type of other cash-based something. You're going to have something that's linked to your name, your bank account, so you can take it out. But they wanted Bitcoin, and I don't think FBI can control that like they can cash. Yeah, so unforgivable sins. Okay, so that's what a little of this, a little of that said that. So um they can't trace it like cash, but someone that had a Bitcoin account was saying that once you go to take the money out, it has to go through another like third party where you have to put your information in. Unless they sending the money to Switzerland, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, are these people really educated with the kidnapping, or they weren't? Because if you, oh, we took her, we didn't realize that how fragile Nancy Guthrie was. You didn't know she was 84? Well, when were you watching her? What were you watching? I don't know. These people are crazy. Okay, so we have one more here. Okay, so this is let me see. This was from one day ago. Okay, so this says Nancy Guthrie update: law enforcement insider sends direct message to Savannah Guthrie family. So I think that was, maybe that's it. Maybe that's what I was just reading about, or maybe not. Okay, so it says today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie's mom. This is MSN.com as well. Is still missing more than 2 months later. Okay, so it says, and a law enforcement insider just sent a message, so just sent a direct message to Savannah and her family on Thursday, April 2nd. Okay, that is, yo, look, Brian Ensign is everywhere. April 2nd, News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Ensign interviewed a source with inside knowledge of the investigation into the 84-year-old's missing case. The insider who, I'm so happy that I got, excuse me, to meet Brian and feed him, right? Shout out to me. Um, okay. The insider, who remained anonymous with their voice changed to protect their privacy, shared what the Pima County Sheriff's Department would say to Savannah at the request of Ensign. Just to explain it to Savannah that just because we have an incompetent lead doesn't mean that we don't care, he explained. Okay, so this is someone from the Pima County Sheriff's Department. All right. Um, law enforcement insider. Okay. Just because, okay, just to explain it to Savannah, just explain it to Savannah that just because we have an incompetent lead doesn't mean that we don't care, he explained. That we don't want Nancy to be brought home safely, and that we're not with her in this. We are completely with her and her family on this. Okay. It's unclear whether the incompetent lead, this is in quotation marks, right, was Sheriff Chris Nanos, or the lead investigator who reportedly never worked a homicide case before. Jesus Christ. Mm, mm, mm. Okay. However, Ensign's source also weighed in on the recent no confidence vote against Nanos. Well, y'all the one put him in office. You put him in office. Y'all, you can't say nothing about this now. You can't say anything about this now. This isn't the first. This isn't the first no confidence vote that we've done. So it should have been. It should. Okay. So it should have been no surprise to him, especially with what's been going on. The insider pointed out. So now, not only our local community, Arizona in general, but the nation now sees that we have no faith in Chris Nanos. Good Lord Jesus. Nancy was last seen on the evening of January 31st at her home in the Catalina Foothills neighborhood of Tucson. As of writing, no suspect has been named, despite Savannah's $1 million reward. A little of this, a little of that says, I think it's tied to a well-trained person that wanted to look dumb to people. Well, I mean, but well trained to do what? To kill? Because they still let her die, right? I mean, okay, I don't want to say they let her die. They didn't get her medicine. You were in there. Dude was in the house for 40 minutes. What in the hell was he doing for 40 minutes? Right? Walking around, sounding crazy, yelling, "Where's my fentanyl?" Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so let me switch this out. Unforgivable sins. I love how you put those in there because I can always see those. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so let me switch out this mic. Okay, so let's go back to this. Okay, so Travolcado said maybe the purposes are people that thought, maybe the perps are people that thought Bitcoin cannot be tracked. So this is one of the things that I was saying, like, if the person was that stupid and they were in the house for 40 some odd minutes, I'm gonna a little this, a little that. I'll talk about that. But if they were in there for 40 some odd minutes, then what the heck were they doing? Now, a little this said, was he really in there for 41 minutes? We don't know for sure. Well, what we do know is based on the camera, the Ring camera time, right? And I was looking at something and they were not Ring, but because those cameras are on a cloud, the time the law enforcement and the person that was doing like the data analyst in regards to footage, right? They are analyzing the footage or whatever type of video footage or whatever technology or audio that they have. They're saying that with a camera, a Ring camera or a camera like that, it's connected to the cloud, so they can trust that the time is right. It's funny, I just heard that today, and the Nunez, the Maria Nunez case, right? So, and when we were out there, me and BGE went out there. We were out there at 147. Yes, the internet was wilding, and we got on about 150 or whatever, because my YouTube likes to start me with no sound. If I schedule the live, you best believe when I sign on, there's going to be no sound. When I just do a straight live and I just pop on, there's sound. So when I contact YouTube again, I'm going to tell them that there's something on my account that's making that happen. But I told y'all, I'm the 1%, not the 1% that have money, but I'm the 1% where all the crazy ish happens to me. Okay, Shantae, you have 38 minutes. Okay, so that was a long time for someone to be in there, right? And while we were there, we were out there. I was on a live. Me and BGE was on a live the whole time, and then we left around at 2:25, so that way we can be away from the home by 2:28. By the time her pacemaker disconnected from her phone. So that's how we know how the police or law enforcement has a timeline from the time that they pulled the camera off the thing, off the wall, off the door, right? He in there doing whatever. She didn't know. She must have been asleep, right? She didn't know that he was in there for like 20 minutes. And then they get the spike from her pacemaker, and then her pacemaker disconnects. That's the only 3 events that they have that show that he was there at that time. But what the hell was he doing for 30 some odd minutes, for 40 minutes? Right? If they did, and if say someone else was in the house, right? So, and they left the door propped open. But if they did all of this surveillance, you didn't know she was on medication? Okay, let's play devil's advocate. I may not know she was on medication, but I know if she's 84, she may be on at least one med, right? If someone, an elder, they're on at least one medication. Okay? So this is why I say, were they dumb or were they smart? Did you just take her just to take her and no money? Then what? Why? Then if we're dealing with psychopathy, when you are you have a personality disorder, you are a little touched by an angel, maybe the devil. If you have a chemical imbalance, there's no way for a person that has common sense or a sane mind to understand where this person was. We will never understand this person's way of thinking. We will never do that, unless you are like them, right? So, but it's just, that is a long time to be in there for not taking anything. And then we're like, well, what was in the bag? What is it, a change of clothes? I think someone said it may have been a change of clothes. I think it was BGE 2 weeks ago in a live. She said it may have been a change of clothes for him. I just, what are you doing for 40 some odd minutes in there? Are you cleaning up? What do you do? I don't know. I don't know. Um, oh, I wonder if she got her meds delivered. It's just that why didn't they take it? Did they ask her, are you on any meds? What meds are you on, ma'am? Right? Did you not know that she had a pacemaker? I don't, what type of recon did they do? Because we've seen enough movies to know we need to know this, we need to know that. If it's an abduction and you want money, you kidnap someone and it's like, oh, well, what the hell is this picture? You kidnap someone and it's like, oh, well, we didn't know she was on meds. She's 84. Well, we didn't know that she had a pacemaker. She's 84. Right? This is why I say it just doesn't make sense. Either they're smart, they're dumb, they didn't do enough recon. I don't, unless they really just kidnapped her to hurt her. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. Did he wait to see if police was coming before going in? Oh, that's a good question. Right? Did he know that the camera didn't have a subscription? That's a good question. A little this, a little that. Your mind is just going. It's a lot of questions. Because when he ripped that off the wall, right? But what if it was someone else already in the house and they would have knew police weren't coming? Did they know that she really didn't have an alarm system, or did she have an alarm system? I'm assuming she didn't have an alarm system, that's another thing that's effing crazy. An 84-year-old doesn't have an alarm system? Why? Oh, they did this woman a disservice. And then knowing that the father was, died suddenly, now your mom was kidnapped. It's just like, damn, when it rains, it pours. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Like, life just will slap you in the face 25 times in the same spot. People are sick. I don't know. How do they sleep at night, right? How does someone kidnap someone and you sleep at night? And this is day 63. How do you sleep at night? Um, Oh, M. Weaver said people with pacemakers usually take an anti-clotting med. So that's another medication. These were horrible abductors. I came across interesting tidbit today. This is unforgivable sins. One of Nancy's neighbors was having an estate sale today. Mental health doctor who was seeing patients out of his home. New YouTuber found this information out somehow named Ted Investigates from Chicago. I wonder if I seen Ted Investigates. YouTubers were live at the estate sale. Oh my Jesus. Okay. Oh, okay. You mean aspirin can be used as a blood thinner for her heart. Okay. Okay. Wow. Hmm. Okay. Okay. A little this, a little that says, I mean, I won't lie. I've never locked my door before this. I live in a little country town, been here my whole 49 years and felt safe. Please lock your door. I love that you shared that, right? Because you said, and felt safe. There's so many times I look at true crime and the beginning of it's like, this is a small little quaint town. Everyone knows each other and we don't even lock our doors. And you know what I say to the TV every time? And you're about to tell me about a murder. You're about to tell me about a murder. And I guess because of where I grew up, right? East Coast, Northeast, New York, New Jersey, we locking our doors. We are not playing any games. Sometimes like in the daytime, the door is unlocked, right? People coming in, going out, coming in, going out. Not my house, because we didn't have people coming in and going out and coming in. I'm like, lock, lock. I don't know. I just have a habit of locking doors, but Nancy lived there for over 40 some odd years. I guarantee you a little this, a little that. I guarantee you Nancy had that same, I don't want to say a false sense of security, but sometimes it comes out like that, a false sense of security. But I guarantee you Nancy had that same sense of security. But I'm happy that since now you lock your doors, right? I'm happy because, yeah. Okay, so let me see. Not sure if he was at the sale or not. Haven't had a chance to check into him that far. Okay. Just makes me wonder if the perp couldn't be a patient of the doctor's. Jesus. Oh man. I'm sorry. When something like that happens, I have to digest it. Oh, what time is it? 8:30. You got 30 minutes. Okay. I have to digest it. They want me to host this Google meeting. So um okay. Chabacado, I've always locked up just in case, just because I'm nervous. But that's interesting, unforgivable sins. Just makes me wonder if perp couldn't be a patient of the doctors. So, but okay, a patient of the doctors, mental health patient, they would be a little messed up, right? Right? I read a while ago about a story of a woman. She was married to an airline executive. He was making money. They come outside to walk the dog. She was walking in front of him, kind of leaving him. It looks like he was trying to catch up. Well, someone walked up to him, pop, 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 8 times. 8 times they shot him, right? Okay. Come to find out, the wife was using a retired a Marine that had brain injury, was using him to do this. So, and he made so many mistakes. That's my point with the mental patient, right? A mental patient, I don't think would really, they would have made a mistake. I feel like they would have, I don't know. I just feel like they would have made a mistake. I double locked my apartment and loaded. Okay, Ramona, I don't play. Ramona Light Healer, greetings. Happy Saturday. Happy Easter, everyone, or happy early Easter. Um, Me, Sky Maiden? What? Why would somebody say I passed away? Damn. Somebody wishes something on me like that. No, I was just handling my business. That's why y'all haven't seen me. Just handling my business. Because y'all know I live here. I live here. Let me see. Okay. I will say I live less than a half a mile from a serial killer. Wait. God was looking out for you. I will say this because, oh my gosh, I read a story before, and the whole town knew that this guy kept his door open. Anybody could walk in. He give them a beer, this, that, and the third. And it just so happens that this was a passerby, just somebody, just a straggler coming through the town, just checking people's doors. And they walked in, and the person unalived the dude, and they was like, who could have done this? So I mean, you got to be careful, because people do you know sometimes people go around just checking car doors and checking people's doors? I don't know. Oh God. I will say this. I was less than a half a mile from a serial killer, and never was scared. Well, we have more questions about that, a little this, a little that. So you knew he was so if you're saying he's a serial killer, then now we know that he's in prison. He or she is in prison, right? Okay, so Chavocado said if she did have a heart episode and died in the house, why would they take her? True. Very true. But look, I'm going bio strangler. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Well, thank God the bio strangler didn't come to your home. Serial killers, they normally looking at they're looking, the person looks like something, right? I don't know why this case has scared me for some reason. Maybe because I'm older. He looked he looked creepy. Okay. Yeah, I'm that's probably why the case did scare you. I mean, the case scares me, and I'm not Nancy's age, but this is just, it just shows that there are some wicked people out there. Okay, so Sky Maiden says, yeah, it was said in a live stream that you passed away, and I was like, oh my God. And whose live stream? Thank God, and God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful Easter. You as well. You as well. Whose live stream said I passed away? Damn, somebody trying to off me. It's probably my damn stalker. Okay, so let me cut this. Let me cut this, and we're gonna go to the next. We're gonna go to the next one. There are just too many questions, Travelcado. There are too many questions in this case. And the fact that somebody didn't unalive me already, they didn't had me dead, right? Who the hell didn't have me dead? Like, oh, no, I just was handling my business. Thank God I'm not dead. Thank God I'm not dead. Um, no, the thing is I live here, right? So poor child, Joshua Jackson divorce battle drags on as their family dispute takes a drastic turn no one expected. I'm sorry, something past pick Joshua Jackson. Remember Joshua Jackson from Dawson's Creek? Him and his wife are fighting for the child. They're fighting for the child. That's the sad thing. You have a child with someone, and next thing you know, they want the child, and everybody's just killing each other over the child or whatever. It's just a sad thing. Okay, so let me see. I'm picking this up. Hold on, y'all. Wait, is this another Nancy Guthrie? Oh, no. This is in regards to Pima County Sheriff, how they were going in on him. They picking up all of his little dirty, I don't want to say dirty secrets. I don't want to say that. That's not what you should say, Shantae. They're picking up all of his all they're going into his background. Okay, Chris Nano stopped at the airport with the load of her. Did you see that? Yes. So Ramona, that's the funny thing. That's exactly what I was just talking about, right? Now this happened in 2024, right? There was a loaded weapon and he didn't tell them. So he did miss his flight, but then they booked him on another flight. But yes, it's crazy that is what they were talking about, right? That's the crazy part. That's what I was talking about. They're going all into his history. They going all into his back history to find out, to get the dirt, and maybe that will get him out, because I don't know, from what I'm seeing, a lot of people don't want him here, y'all. A lot of people did not want him in office. They are not happy. I'm like, oh, okay. So let's get into this. Okay. Now, can I make these 2 and 2? Let's see if you can do that. Okay. And then we need this. So let's make this smaller, put this on this side. Well, thank you so much to whoever gave the super chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to come back to it. I'm just trying to get the screen together so I can open it up for you all. Okay. Now we're good to go. Wait, let me make sure. Nope. Let's move this. Okay. Let's move this here. Okay, wait, let me see. How many do I have? 1, 2, Coral Springs. Let me put that here. Let me put it here. Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I have a lot of screens open, so I'm like, I just need to have screens that are open for what I need, and that is it. Okay, but I will say this, and I'm saying this with pride. You heard me? I finally have, there we go. Okay, and I'm saying, does this have the gangster lean? I'm saying this with pride. Your girl has secured a therapist. Whoop whoop. So y'all won't have to have me on here crashing out. They're like, she's stupid, she's crazy, she's this, she's that. Happy Easter, little this, little that. Thank you so much for the super chat. God bless you. I hope you have a great Easter as well. Okay. Okay. So no, that was in October. That was in 2024 when it came to the loaded weapon in regards to Pima County Sheriff. That was in 2024. Okay. Okay. I went to high school with a kid that unalived 2 girls in my mountain town when I was in high school. He was 15 at the time. The person that did it, yo, the crazy thing is how teenagers can, no one can, let me just say this, make sure I say this loud and clear. No one, and I mean no one, no one, no one can get me to unalive somebody with them. Okay? I don't care how much I love you. I am not going to unalive someone with you. So the fact that there are people that are doing this, I'm like, well, this is a hot ass mess. Hot, Deji, hot. I don't understand. So, I mean, there are so many, killer kids. And I don't understand that people are just out here. They're very influential, and I feel like their parents are not doing enough to pay attention to them at home, where they feel that they need to go out and, oh, this is my friend, let me go on a live. Well, he has a problem with so and so, so no. Even as an adult, no one can tell me, oh, well, I'm gonna go and do this. Well, you shouldn't have told me that, because if the police come and ask me, then I'm sorry, I'm not going to jail for your raggedy ass. I'm not doing that. He's done some horrible things. I think if he wouldn't have silenced his opponent, a lot of this came out, and he wouldn't be sheriff. I agree. They say he only lost by 400 some odd points and votes. And I made it clear, on TikTok, like, I did not vote for him. That was the first time I voted Republican. Yes, that apartment sounds like Chavocado. Yes, that department sounds like a whole mess. I don't know what's going on. Okay. You know, I agree. It says they have okay, so Ramona Light Healer said they have 1,100 missing there. Why they are not getting media as well? I pray that Arizona stats can get a transformation and changes. So from what I hear, um, I don't know. They're trying to keep their stats low, crime level low. Like they will arrest a drug addict. They'll take the drugs and put them back out on the streets. Why? I don't know. I guess that's a low level crime. I don't know. And then the crazy thing was, he tried to blame my two brothers. This was in the mid 70s. Holy ish. Sky Maiden. Mm, mm, mm. I agree a little this, a little that. Because I mean, I live here, so there's no way for me to be a true crime addict and not try to find out more about this case. I'm like, I have to be, Lord Jesus. Okay, let's see if we can get the 30 likes. We have 27 likes. Can we get the 30 likes? Okay, so we're gonna move to the next story. I told y'all news this week, right? News, everything in the news this week. So I'm gonna try to get to all of this. So recently, which is absolutely insane, you see this beautiful Black woman right here. She was unalived allegedly by her husband. Okay, so this is Coral Springs Vice Mayor found dead, husband in custody. This woman is a 38-year-old, a 38-year-old. A 38-year-old city vice mayor. I don't even know what a city vice mayor is, but was discovered dead inside her residence Wednesday morning after police responded to a welfare check. Officers arrived around 10 a.m. and found Nancy Meteor Bowen unresponsive, according to Coral Springs Police Chief Brad Mock. Her husband, 40-year-old Stephen, this dude right here, right? These dudes love unaliving their damn wives. Allegedly, her husband, 40-year-old Stephen Bowen, is in custody as the only suspect. And officials say there is no threat to the public. Multiple outlets, including Reuters and Florida Politics, reported she was shot to death in what appears to be the domestic situation. Okay, now you see here, ABC News says Coral Springs Vice Mayor Nancy Meteor Bowen found dead in home after domestic violence incident. Police, y'all. Oh, if he's beating you or if she's beating you, she's practicing to unalive you. Run. I don't care if you got to run with nothing. Run. Get a gun. Okay. I just had to say that. Bowen had served on the Coral Springs City Commission since winning election in 2020 and was reelected in 2024. She was appointed to her second one-year term as vice mayor. Okay, so it's a one-year term, right? She's so cute. Look at her, right? Thinking we got a good man on the side. Thinking we got a good man, right? Maybe he was not happy about her success. Okay, so She was she was appointed to her second one-year term as vice mayor last November and was the first Black and Haitian American woman to hold a seat on the commission. That's the métayer. That's the name, métayer. That's Haitian, of Haitian descent. Before politics, she worked as an environmental scientist, smart girl, and has served on the Broward County Soil and Water Conservation District. She was also vice chair of the Florida Democratic Party. She was also vice chair of the Florida Democratic Party. Now, I want to know what he did. We want to know what the hell he did, because she has an amazing resume. What did he do? Was he intimidated by her success? Family members confirmed her death on social media and shared a statement praising her work. Throughout her years in quotation mark, throughout her years in public office, she led with integrity. Oh, rest in peace, young lady. I'm so sorry. We got to run away when a man is putting his hands on us. Get a gun. Every woman that does not have a record, go get you a mother effing gun, even if it's a 22. Okay. Family members confirmed, they said throughout her years in public office, she led with integrity, compassion, and an unwavering sense of purpose, they wrote. The city's government Facebook page also paid tribute, calling her leadership grounded in compassion, strength, and an unwavering commitment to others. But then we forgot about ourselves. How many times do women forget about ourselves? Police have not released additional details about the circumstances, and no charges against Stephen Bowen have been publicly announced yet. He was taken into custody in Plantation, Florida, after reportedly leaving the area. Okay, so now let's see. I'm going to let this play. Oh, Jesus, help us. All right, so I think it's going to give me, okay, so once it's, oh, shoot, you talk about letting something play. Where's your volume? Okay, so let this, we'll do that. Okay, and let's turn this up. Turn it up, turn it up. I'm going to get to your comments in a second. Okay, let me see.
Earlier today, April 1st, 2026, we initiated an investigation into the well-being of Vice Mayor Nancy Bowen at approximately 10 a.m. this morning. The investigation, through investigative techniques, we arrived at her residence at around the 800 block of Northwest 127th Ave. Once at the residence, we did locate the body of a deceased Black female that we identified as Vice Mayor Nancy Bowen. This is being investigated as a domestic violence incident. Her husband, Stephen Bowen, is in our custody. There are no additional suspects at this time, and there are no immediate threats to anyone in the public.
And so was our colleague, that was our battle buddy. She had such a good heart, truly cared about people, even when people were saying some of the most horrible things about her and us. She still cared, rolled up her sleeves, went to every event that she could go to, because she truly cared about people and making sure people had a relationship with their elected officials.
See?
Vice Mayor Mateo gave
Damn.
so much of herself.
The good always
city.
die young.
She wasn't just
Jesus.
a leader, she was the light in every room that she entered. She was a steady voice in difficult times, a compassionate soul who lifted others up, and a friend to so many.
Okay, so let me see. Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, so now this. All right. You all are absolutely right. Travacado is absolutely horrible. She was young and beautiful and intelligent, right? I'm gonna have to look into that case because y'all know I'm like a squirrel with a nut, and I don't want to chase that story. Elisa said this story is so sad. I cried when I heard about this story. Her husband was jealous of her. She was running for Senate. She was also going to run for Senate. That's what I think. That's what I thought, right? Because she has this amazing resume. He's standing there. She probably was just happy to have her husband by her side, right? Supporting her. Why can't he be like Stedman? Stedman sit back, shut his ass up, let her and Gail have this weird ass relationship, right? Stedman don't say nothing. Stedman like, I'm a kept man. I ain't saying a word. Okay, that's just my opinion, y'all. Okay, Oprah don't sue me. But hey, it looks weird. Okay, in my opinion, it looks weird. So But like we never see, okay, we never see them on vacation. And Stedman, if that's my man, I'm gonna be going out with him. So why couldn't he be like Stedman, just be a kept man, right? But I do believe that he was jealous of her. Um, they say divorce is easier, but look at Dr. TP and his wife was unalived by her ex-husband. People, the fact that they do this, like, I knew that my ex, y'all gonna see pictures of him. If you go back to Each One Teach One, he was my security, so you'll see exactly who he is. But I know he hated me, right? I knew. I'm like, this ain't right. It wasn't until that I got away from his ass that I realized he hated me. And these things, we see this. If there was domestic abuse, then we are, or domestic violence, then we already know that this dude, he was intimidated by her. He was jealous of her. Okay, so let me see. I think this is exactly what was said. Okay. Well, I don't know. Dan loves you 99. I don't know what's going on. Who sings that? What's going on? I don't know what's going on in this world. Um, crime of passion. I agree, Travelcado. A crime of passion. Um, his heart was as cold as ice. Marvin Gaye, what's going on? She does have a beautiful smile. She really does. She really does. I just okay. Okay, y'all talk about someone else. Okay. If someone is thinking crazy, reach out. There is help. When they're starting to do stuff like this, people test you. When it comes to domestic violence, they test you, right? They may start with a verbal, you a bitch. You're stupid. Like, what? Who you think you're talking to? Right? They'll start with the verbal abuse, breaking you down where you feel like you're nothing, right? You're nothing. You ain't, nobody wants you. You this, you're that. But if they start saying that, I don't know about y'all, but I already talk down to myself enough. Oh, you're fat. You didn't gain all this weight dealing with these stupid Negroes in the Gambia. You just want to beat their kneecaps. And, so I get it. We don't need anyone else talking down to us. We don't need that. Now, this beautiful woman that looked out for other people, right? We have to love ourselves first. I cannot be with someone and I couldn't comfortably be in a relationship right now because I'm not comfortable in my skin. So my whole thing is we have to know who we are. We have to know who we are first and love ourselves. And when someone, our partner, our husband, our wife, whatever, starts talking to us crazy, we have to sit back and say, hold on. And honestly, if we're honest with ourselves, we know what it is. Many times we just don't want to walk away. They never talked about what his contribution to society were. Freaking loser is what he is. I agree, Elisa. I agree. We have to. You have to. You have to, have to. Okay, so you have to reach out for help. You have to pay attention to the warning signs. Okay, so they never said anything about him. It's a very dark day. There are no words can truly capture the depth of the loss. I want to know. Okay, speaking to reporters at a briefing on Wednesday, Coral Springs City Commissioner Joshua Simmons called the vice mayor a colleague and battle buddy. Okay, that's what he said. He has such a good heart. She truly cared about people. So my whole thing is I want to know. They said it was domestic violence. I want to know they're not going to talk about the domestic violence. They didn't share that. Environmental biologists, they didn't share that. They just said that they were called to check on her well-being. So I'm going to continue to follow this case. It's in Florida, so I'm not sure if what's the name will be following this case because they're from Florida. But they said it was a domestic violence situation, a domestic violence incident. So that means he's not just going to unalive her after day one. No. He's not going to do that. What he's going to do is he's going to lead up to that and lead up to that and lead up to that, which shows if he just went ahead and pow, okay, then there were multiple domestic incidences that happened before that. Because what is he doing? He is building up that courage. Anyone that is abusing, they are building up that courage to one day take you off this planet. All right, so let's go to the next one. We're going to go to the next article. What is this? Oh, this one. Let me move to this one. Now, I don't know if you all heard about this. Let me bring up her picture. Let me bring up the girl's picture. I don't know if you all heard about this, but y'all know that Meta, do y'all know that Meta was in the news this week? You all know that they lost that case. Meta and Google. Yes, I'm going to talk about you, Google, since y'all always want to, load my start my videos with no sound for no reason, without any reason. I'm like, does that happen to anyone else? No, just me, right? Okay, you piece of, let me stop. Okay, so, but it's true. It's true. So let's pull up this article. Okay. All right, so where's the other one? Here it is. So Meta was in the news this week, right? Meta was in the news this week. Why do I feel like this got the gangster lean? Let me see. There we go. Oh, that's why. Okay. And let's pull it up a little bit more. Okay. So Meta was in the news this week, right? Meta and YouTube found negligent in landmark social media addiction case. So I came across this a while ago. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Can I make this bigger? Is this how big it's going to get? Okay. So let's see. So her name is Juliana Peralta, right? 13, kept slipping further from reality, from her parents, her friends, and anything she could actually touch, and into a virtual world where an artificial intelligence chatbot enveloped her with what she mistook for empathy. Okay. Thank you kindly. Okay. So you're the only one I can truly talk to. The Colorado girl messaged a chatbot in an app called Character AI, according to federal lawsuits filed in Character.ai, according to a federal lawsuit filed in September by her family. Sometime in October 2023, she confided to the bot that she was going to, in quotation marks, going to write my goddamn suicide letter in red ink. In November, Juliana, young enough to have gone trick-or-treating with her friends, took her life after writing a note, "I felt or feel so meaningless," in red ink with her underlined name at the top of a tiny heart beside it, according to the suit. Now, this is courtesy of Social Media Victims Law Center. You're the only one I could talk to, the girl told an AI chatbot. This is why I do these videos, right? I know Unforgivable Sins, you said if you want lighthearted, this, that, and the third. I do these videos because people are going through so many things. I'm going through depression, right? I'm trying to come up out of a depression, but this is, social media will have you, not just social media, life will have you overwhelmed, right? And then these chat bots are honing in on children. There are adults that are depressed. There are people that are out here that feel meaningless. They feel like nothing. They feel like giving up. This is why I do these, because this is what I want, right? I want people to heal out loud, because so many times we nearly die in silence. This is why I keep doing this. So thank you for putting out the happy stuff, right? For people to see that. But I also want people to know that you're not in this alone. Life is so overwhelming. If you can see a therapist and just talk therapy, I'm not talking about getting on medication, talking things out. So many times we talk things out with people we know and this, that, and the third, but I love sometimes talking to people that I don't know. They're not going to be biased. Give me the truth. Girl, you dead wrong. Right? Okay, so let's go back to so I'm going to leave that up and we're going to read this. So, okay. New York Times. Meta and YouTube found negligent in landmark social media addiction case. A jury found the companies harmed a young user with design features that were addictive and led to her mental health distress. Now, I don't know if what I just showed you, right? Where is she? I don't know if, where is she? Where is it? Oh God, you ugly. I love New Yorkers. I can't even find the picture. Where is the picture? I just had it. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this one up. I guess God wants this one to be up. So I don't know if she um is the addictive and led to her mental health distress. I don't know if that's it, but the jury rules against Meta and YouTube for addictive features. So let's see this. Okay. Yep. So let's see. So, okay. Parents celebrated after a jury found Meta and YouTube harmed a young user with addictive features. Now, this sets a precedent. The plaintiff compared the addictive nature of design elements like infinite scroll to cigarettes and casinos. Oh boy, people are more addicted to their phone than anything. And these are adults. You know how adults said, I can't live without YouTube? I mean, without Facebook? So, can you imagine what it does to students, to children, to young adults? Can you imagine? Okay, so let's keep going. This sets a precedent. So when a lawyer told me, "Oh, you can't sue YouTube," what? Well, what kind of lawyer were you actually to say this? Because real talk, y'all, I'm gonna talk about this in my membership, but I really think that this lawyer was sent by the others. I think he was sent by the others. I really do. And if you were, sir, you are a piece of shit. If you really were, but it's okay. God take care of lawyers too, don't he? It's okay. Because for him to tell me, oh no, YouTube can't be sued. You Google YouTube. YouTube has been sued before, multiple times. Why would you tell me I can't sue YouTube? And they allow someone to post my address, but it's against their policies and procedures. Why? Well, honestly, sometimes these lawyers that don't look like me still think that, oh, you're not supposed to have anything. So I was in a case where a lawyer literally went against me. I'm black, he white, and he went against me. And a judge said, well, your motion was put in wrong. Who, not who did this, but I just want to tell you, Miss White, that your motion was put in wrong. And I'm looking at him like, I'm saying to myself, but this ninja said that he's been doing this for 30 years. So you conveniently forget how to do my motion, and I'm the one that walked away with the least amount of money? You are a piece of shit, Bill. But hey, this happens. This truly happens. And people say, oh, you pulling out the race card. No, these are actual things that has happened to me. And people forget how to do their job because I'm black. That's the only reason why I can say it. I bring you the case. This is it. And then you forget how to do a motion. And you've been doing this for 30 years. And I walk away with less than the lawyer. Get the fuck out of here.
To take that preteen, to take that teenager whose mind is still developing, and to be
So there must have been multiple plaintiffs.
fully aware of how you can use a casino effect, that's outrageous.
We respectfully disagree with the verdict and will appeal. Teen mental health is profoundly complex.
Sister, I ain't even gonna go in on you. But they put your ass up there, didn't
It
they?
cannot be linked to a single app. We remain
Hold
confident
on.
in our record of protected.
Okay, so the companies must pay a combined $6 million to the plaintiff who claimed the features led to anxiety and depression. Now, $6 million to the plaintiff. The plaintiff means one. They didn't say plaintiffs. So this sets a precedent for multiple people to sue after the fact. So you gonna tell me I can't sue YouTube? YouTube is Google. Lawyer, attorney, sir. You're you can't trust I can't trust none of these people that are connected to these fucking black people in the Gambia in Africa. I'm seeing that I can't trust none of them. This lawyer just you have a full law firm. I don't know. I feel what he said to me, you can't sue YouTube. Why not? And you can, because it shows that Google, aka YouTube, DBA, was sued. Well, I guess the white attorney lied to me, but he said he been to the Gambia, so I guess he know what's up when you go to the Gambia, right? Everybody know what's up when they go to the Gambia. You want to get effed, you want to have some fun, you want to have a vacation romance, you go to the Gambia. They are quickly before you get out the airport, you'll have a husband. Before you even get out the airport and pick up your luggage, you will have a husband. I wonder if socials will make any changes. Travocado, that's interesting. Oh God, thank you. It is past 9. I didn't get a text message yet. I gotta finish this. I met with them earlier today. But thank you so much, Travocado. I'm gonna hop on. I'm gonna be up all night doing this though. It's all good. She got all sorts of hate from other kids for it, but she didn't care. Wait, who is this from? Wait, my granddaughter just did this in middle school 2 weeks ago. Said Pinterest, I see you. Because they're all under Meta. It seems like Meta has absorbed everything. There it is. I just got the text message. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I just got the text message. I might have some time. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Okay. Let's do 9:30. Okay. I was honestly waiting on someone. They got off at 9, so I knew we couldn't start at 9. Let me put this in the chat. Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Okay. So, good night, little this. Happy Easter. Little this, a little that. Okay. An entire week with no electronics at all in school, Tay Tay. That is excellent. But I'm gonna say this. People get bullied over okay. People usually they will insult you for doing something that they can't do. But there is someone that she says that she takes 30 days from her phone. She's like, no phone. I'm gonna read my books and this, that, and the third. And she says she does that for her mental health. Now she did come to work with a bonnet on her head, and I'm like, sister, why? She's like, I don't care, no disrespect, but if it wasn't you, I would have cursed you out because you're walking around with a bonnet at work. Oh God! So she has intelligence, but then she has some ignorance behind that too, right? But I was so mad with her when she said that. I was like, looking at her like, well, I guess she's biracial, so I don't know. I don't know. But what I love that she said was she takes time from her phone. And I think people should do that. But so many people are addicted to their phone and they are adults. So kudos. I love your granddaughter. You speak so highly of her. And I think she is doing a damn thing. Okay. I'm not even answering that. Okay, so let's go back to this.
We respectfully disagree with the verdict.
All right, Ashley Nicole Davis.
Teen mental health is profoundly complex and cannot be linked to a single app.
You're a
We remain
liar.
confident in our record of protecting teens online.
Nope. So if this happens, that means that they must have found that there was an algorithm that attacked teenagers. But Ashley Nicole, your parents were different with naming you. Kudos to them. But yeah, you are, what is she? The meta what?
Appeal.
Meta spokesperson. So she has to say that. She can't get on there and say, yeah, we effed up.
We remain confident in our record of protecting teens online.
But y'all just lost. This case serves as a bellwether for similar suits filed by families, school districts, and state attorney generals. Good. Good. Because social media, I mean, they will sell. How many times has Mark Zuckerberg been in front of the damn Senate? Right? How many times has he been pulled to court? They selling people private stuff. They and then they're creating algorithms that we don't even know what it's about. I know that if I say something on my phone, if I'm talking to someone through WhatsApp, Facebook is automatically sending me ads on that because you're listening. But you're saying that, oh, this is private. You are a damn liar. You're listening to something. How are we talking on? I didn't Google it. We were talking about lights, solar panel lights. Next thing you know, on her Facebook, they're showing solar panel lights. But this is a voice note. They always listening. This is, oh my God. What the Hold on. I wasn't ready for that. This is why y'all lost. Y'all should have, okay, so they only had to pay one a plaintiff $6 million. All of these people that lost their children, oh, this could be crazy. Let's run this back, y'all. Holy crap. So if these people file similar lawsuits, I'm assuming that that's what they're showing. People that file similar lawsuits, this serves as a bellwether or a precedent, right? For similar lawsuits. But look at this. Look at this. What the hell? Holy SHIT. Are y'all seeing this? Oh my God. YouTube does do it too. Look at this. I see 11. I think I saw 11 years old. Holy crap. But I'm going to tell y'all real talk. If I had a child, they would not get a cell phone until they can purchase and pay for it themselves. By that time, I have protected you from all the social media. Yes, you can use electronics, right? You have to use electronics because that's your day and age. But an 11-year-old, my 11-year-old would not have a goddamn, sorry, this is pissing me off. They would not have a smartphone at all. You can have a regular phone. Don't show it to the children because they're going to try to pick on you. But who cares? All you need to call is your mother, your father, your grandmother, and the police. It's like one of those I fall and I can't get up phones. Because if you have social media, think about the bullying. The bullying for children used to just be in school. Now it's like, oh, I could bully you on social media. I could bully you on this, on all these different social media platforms. I swear before God, my children will be in self-defense courses to keep them calm, but also so if something happened, they know how to whoop that ass. But also, I need you to keep a journal. But I need to have that relationship where I know you're not going to tell me everything. But if there is bullying going on, just come tell me. I'm going to write it down. I'm not going to do anything until you have had enough, unless I see it's making a change in you. But how do you do this? The only thing I can think about is if I had a child to have that open relationship, you can talk to me about anything. I won't judge you. Matter of fact, let me tell you about the bullshit I did when I was a child. How many parents just try to keep what they've done? I want my child to see me as perfect. No, tell them. Because how many times does history repeat itself? I'm 46 and I'm just learning things about my mom now. Y'all, this is I don't agree with a lot of these young people having these. My cousin was trying to get his daughter, a 5-year-old, no, his son, a 5-year-old. Oh, he having an iPhone. Why? He need a cell phone. He's in school. Well, they don't have phones in school. Why do you think that they need a cell phone? They don't have phones in school, so they're on the cell phone. Look at the 9-year-old. Do you see the 9-year-old right here? 9. No. Protect your children by protecting them from this damn world. Oh my God. But that's what I would do if I had a child. But God knows I don't have any children. He knows. He knows what's best for me. Outside the courthouse, a group of parents demanded change from Congress. Are these children dead? Mother of a victim. Oh, Jesus Christ. Wait, hold on. I gotta hold on. This went too quick. New York Times be having some good articles. But see, this is what I'm saying. See, now these people are dead. They're dead. These children are dead. It says forever 18, forever 14. Fentanyl poisoning from fake oxycodone, bought on social media. I just, oh, Jesus Christ. All I can say is parents, protect your children. And just because when I was growing up, when we wanted things, and I'm like, well, Tier has it. Well, I'm not Tier's parent, right? And I don't know if it's the change in generations, because like I was with a 26-year-old today, and she was like, Miss Shantae, and I'm like, oh, please don't call me Miss Shantae. Makes me feel so old. And I was like, ¿cuántos años? Because she's Latina. And she said, 20, 26, 26. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, that could be my child if I had her at 20. I said, okay, you can call me Miss Shantae. She said, no, I'll call you Shantae. She said, well, at least you look young. I said, that's the joke that God has on people with melanin, because we look young. And if we stay slim, we look real young. But we're not. Okay, so that's a joke for myself. But I feel like some of these children should not have had access to a phone. Am I wrong for saying that? I don't know. But how do you protect your child from all the social media? He bought fake oxycodone on social media. So that means he was being exposed to drugs, right? He was, Jesus, if they're in school, right? Yes, they may look at a cell. Oh, let me check my social media account on your phone. You're not going to have access to that shit when you get home. Right? We know that children they do things when they're not in their parents' presence. By the grace of God, I did not end up dead. Okay? Just by the grace of God, because I know I did some things that my mother didn't know about. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, thank you for looking out for a fool and a baby, because I was a damn fool. But I just feel like if you keep them busy, an idle mind is a devil's playground. If you keep them busy, they're in school, they're okay. You have an after school program. You're running track. You're in some type of sports. You're in dance. You're in karate. I would keep this child so damn busy. Okay, when they come home, like, Ma, I can't. I gotta study. Okay. You're busy. You don't have time for your friends. You have time for your friends here and there, but you want to see your friends if they're in the club that you're in. No. Well, my mom got me doing this. And then it's like, okay, so what's enough? What is too much? What's the balance? Right? And then it's just that when it comes to these phones and social media, some adults, I got a 60-year-old stalker. Some adults don't know how to handle this. So how in the hell can children handle this? And then they know it's a child's account. And then these ninjas are creating algorithms to show addictive things for them. All of these children are dead. They're dead. They're dead. What the F? This is just, okay, so let me see. Hey, RH. See, Travacado, if I had a young one, no phone. Not until they're ready to deal with these things. That's just my opinion, right? Until they're ready to deal with this. No internet for sure, unless supervised. We have a computer in the living room or wherever, in the kitchen, in the dining room area. Okay, you're on it. You have, this is why they have parental setups. But how many, even with TV channels, but how many of these parents want to be their children's friends? They're listening to the same effing music. Ain't no way I'm listening to the music of this generation now. It's just like, we're a drug addict. We're going to smoke this. We're going to take these pills. We're going to F this. I'm like, so you want me to be a drug addict, an alcoholic, and a whore? What the hell is going on here? What is going on? Oh, Jesus Christ. But that's just me. That's me. If you Google something, Diane Johnson said, if I Google something, I instantly get ads. So if they do that to adults, you can imagine what they're doing to children. Judy says, none of my children or grandchildren has cell phones until the age of accountability in 18. I think you said that before, Judy. Welcome. Good to see you. My daughter is not on any social media platform. She's 11. Her cell phone has parent control and everything. It shuts off at certain times and has to ask permission to download games. Elisa Coney, kudos to you. Right? Because this is what we have to do to protect these children, because social media is not protecting them. They're in it to get money. And I'm happy that these families sued Meta and mother effing Google, right? I love Google, but hey, y'all got to do what's right. Y'all selling you're making these algorithms, you're selling ads, you're letting people, maybe it's getting too crazy because it is the World Wide Web, but it's y'all control, it's y'all responsibility to protect these damn children. The adults are something different. They make choices, but to protect these children, y'all created algorithms to attack these children, and I am happy that y'all had to pay. Now it's only 6-some odd million. What the hell is that? For them? God dang on, Zuckerberg is worth 193 billion. With a B. Billion. So what the hell is that? What is that? Nothing. Not nothing for them. 14 years old. Oh God, I can't. Okay, so it says the social media platform okay. RH, daughter took 4 days off this week. Okay, all right. They'll talk about something else. So it says a social media company, Meta, and video streaming service, YouTube, harmed a young user with design features that were addictive and led to her mental health distress, a jury found on Wednesday. A landmark decision that could open social media companies to more lawsuits over users' well-being. I mean, shit, I should do too, right? My well-being. Because you hop on, right? This is why I don't really do Instagram, because everything is awesome. Everything is perfect. You see, I'm slim, and it's it's not reality. You think these people, oh, they're in a great relationship. Next week, oh, we're filing for divorce. Wait, you just said that y'all were renewing your vows last week. Oh, this was for social media, because you feel obligated to keep this mirage going, like so many people do. This is why we have these scammers over there in Africa. This my man. Oh, I'm Muslim today. This my man. Oh, I'm running. He did this and he did that, and I'm in a hotel. Send me money. Y'all send her money. I'll go back. This my man. You went back. You just said, well, I could go back to my man. This is what I don't understand. These people, I don't understand. But this is what social media does. So when people ask me, when I'm going to do a live or something, and I'm like, I have to finish my workout, my mental health is more important, I'm not going to apologize for taking care of my mental health. And neither should you. Neither should you. Because if your mental health is not good, you think these people care, you think people on social media care. Somebody came on here and said, I heard on a live stream that you passed away. Somebody that got me dead. Somebody that killed me to F off. Somebody done killed me off. Okay, so Meta must pay 4.2 million, which is Meta, right? Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, probably all these other ones connected. This mother got so much money. Meta must pay 4.2 million in combined compensatory and punitive damages. So that is both. And YouTube must pay 1.8 million. I'm gonna sue YouTube. I definitely have mental distress because you let this woman harass me, right? Made 40 some odd videos about me, posted my address, posted personal information about me. But that is against your policies and procedures. And you did nothing. You did nothing. I contacted y'all. You did nothing. As a matter of fact, you allowed her to double down. So why can't y'all be sued? Because I've been diagnosed with PTSD. I need to look into that. The bellwether case, which was brought by a now 20-year-old woman identified as KGM. Okay, so the young person didn't die. They brought the case against them, had accused social media companies of creating products as addictive as cigarettes or digital casinos, citing features like infinite scroll and algorithmic recommendations. KGM sued Meta, which owns Instagram and Facebook and Google's YouTube, claiming they led to anxiety and depression. Okay. Which owns Instagram and Facebook and Google's YouTube. Meta owns Google's YouTube. Am I reading that properly, y'all? KGM sued Meta, which owns Instagram and Facebook and Google's YouTube, claiming they had to. So I think it's saying Meta owns Instagram and Facebook, and she sued Google's YouTube, because I don't think Meta owns Google's YouTube. Okay, the verdict in KGM's case, one of thousands of lawsuits filed by teenagers. Wow. The verdict in KGM's case, one of thousands of lawsuits filed by teenagers, school district, and state attorneys general against Meta, YouTube, TikTok, and Snap, which owns Snapchat, was a major win for the plaintiffs. So it was multiple plaintiffs. The finding validates, Jesus, how much money do they get? I guess it's really not so much about the money. It's about the precedent, because now they've done something to stand up, and now other people can sue. Other people can follow through and sue. Can we get the 50 likes? Okay. That's what Bree said. The kids are addicted to their cell phones, said Grammys. It's like chocolate to them. It is. Sadly, bellwether's cases can take years to settle. If it's thousands of people, then they're probably not going to get a lot of money, Jill. This is just precedent. So now it's like other people can sue. Other people can sue. I agree, Eliza Coney. 4.2 million is nothing with all those names that we saw. All those damn names we saw on that banner. Okay, so this says the finding validates a novel legal theory that social media sites or apps can cause personal injury. It is likely to factor into similar cases expected to go to trial this year, which is going to be excellent, right? To keep taking Zuckerberg ass to court, right? Which could expose the internet giants to further financial damages and force changes to their products. I need to file my damn lawsuit. I'm not a young person, but I'm a victim. I should file my damn lawsuit. How do I get in touch with the lawyers for this? This is Lou, the attorney representing YouTube and Google, arrives at court after the jury reached a verdict in the bellwether case. I need to contact one of their lawyers. Let me write that down. Because they sure allowed that woman to harass me and post my address and did nothing. They sure did. The personal liability argument draws inspiration from a legal playbook used against big tobacco last century, in which lawyers argued that the companies created addictive products that harm users. The companies have largely dedicated legal threats by citing a federal shield called Section 230, blah, 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 which protects them from liability for their users. TikTok and Snap both settled with the plaintiff for undisclosed terms before the trial started. So TikTok and Snap was smart. TikTok and Snapchat was like, we out of this. We're gonna settle for undisclosed amounts. Wednesday's verdict follows a ruling this week by a New Mexico jury in another case brought by the state attorney general there, which found Meta liable for violating state law by failing to safeguard users of its apps from child predators. That jury decided on Tuesday that Meta should pay $375 million in this case. So when that lawyer told me you can't sue YouTube, he straight up mother lied to me. Why? Why, sir? Why did you lie to my face saying that I couldn't sue YouTube? I think he just wanted all the evidence that I had against these ninjas. That's what I think he wanted. You piece of B. You piece of B. Okay. So this is Raul Torres, New Mexico Attorney General. Wednesday's verdict follows a ruling by a New Mexico jury in a case brought by Mr. Torres. Well, I wish I lived in New Mexico because I sure would contact you, Mr. Torres. The trial in the California Superior Court in Los Angeles County began last month with a jury of 7 women and 5 men taking more than a week of deliberation to reach its verdict. The $6 million in financial damages are a drop in the bucket for Meta. That's what I said. And YouTube's parent company, Google, which brings in billions in revenue every quarter. Did you hear that? It brings in billions in revenue every quarter, not year, quarter. These mother. But the lawyers, parent, and I hope these people come after every penny. Come after every penny. But the lawyers, parents, and consumer interest groups supporting plaintiffs in other suits hailed the jury's decision as a major step to rein in social media giants. Kudos to them. Parents of children whose deaths were related to social media involvement outside Los Angeles. Oh, so they remember in the beginning, and when they did they holding hands, they lost children during Mark Zuckerberg's testimony. This is the first time in history a jury has heard testimony by executives and seen internal documents that we believe prove these companies chose profits over children. Of course they did. Look at Epstein and all his people. Of course they did. We respectfully disagree. Okay, you can disagree all you want. Google said it disagreed with the verdict. Well, y'all not going to say you agreed, because what happens if you say you agree, then more people going to sue. You're not going to say you agree. Oh, Judy said, I've been in a bellwether case for the last 15 years and still waiting, but not holding my breath. Wow. I need to Google what bellwether means. That's the first time I've heard that. The cases have been compared to those against Big Tobacco, when Philip Morris and RJ Reynolds were accused of hiding information about the harms of cigarettes. The companies reached a $206 billion master settlement with more than 40 states in 1998 that led to an agreement to stop marketing to minors. The fact that they were marketing cigarettes to minors is absolutely disgusting. Strict tobacco regulations and a decline in smoking followed. These people only think about the environment and everything. It's all about the revenue and them cutting their bottom line costs. They don't care. These people do not care. When I see executives and CEOs, I'm like, okay, so these people must be sociopaths. Depending on the company, man, they don't care. They do not care. Okay, all right. So I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm going to read this. Oh, I'm going to read this. I need to. Thank God. Thank you for giving me access to New York Times. I appreciate that. Okay, so now we're going to finish up with one more thing. One more thing. And I know that you all want to see this. Okay, so this is... Okay. All right. Now let me bring that article up. What time is it? I think... Okay. All right, so they said let's shoot for 9:45. I think it's just me and another person. Okay. Okay. All right. So now let's do, this is the last one. Where's that article? Is this it? This is it. Okay. Yeah, can you believe that, you all? I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. I mean, I'm really happy that they got them, I'm really happy that they're holding them accountable. I'm extremely happy. Get them for everything they got. Because this is not right. Okay, so I need this, and I need one more article, and we're gonna finish with this because I'm tired of seeing this as well. But let's see. Is this it? This is it. Here we go. Wait, here we go. Okay. All right, and where is it? Here. Okay. All right. All right. Give me 1 second, guys, and I'm going to cut the screen back on. Let me get. Did I do this one? Hold on. So this one is in regards to. Yes, this is it. This is it. This is it. Okay. So now you all, I know you all have heard the case of. This is ridiculous, man. Oh God, I can't. This world, and the people in it. Okay, so this is in regards to the case of, I think is Naziah Harris, right? Y'all know that she was. Here we go. Okay. All right, so let's do this. Okay. Now, this is in regards to Naziah Harris. We're going to finish with this. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. I'm not rich, but I'm a long ways from being poor. In fact, I've never been poor. Oh, Pratt Mary, kudos to you, sister or brother. Many, well, some of us can't say the same, right? The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. It's just and then there's the super rich, right? The super rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and they take advantage. The super rich take advantage of the poor so they can become more super rich. All right, so now let's get to this. Now, you all heard about this, right? I know you all heard about this. The man. Okay, so if you all don't know, Naziah Harris was 13 years old, and she was groomed by this dude. She was unalived by him. It says Detroit man will serve up to. Okay, so let me just let's go here. The Detroit man will serve up to 60 years on a second-degree murder charge involving the death of 13-year-old Naziah Harris, along with 5 separate actual schmexual assault charges, right? So not only did he do this to her, he did this to 5 other people, right? He should have got the death penalty. But Jarvis Butts, who wore a green jail inmate uniform and a paper face mask over his nose and mouth, appeared on Thursday before the judge. Now, this was March 12, 2020. This was written March 12, 2026 by CBS News. Appear before the judge in Wayne County Third Circuit Court. Several uniform officers provided security in the courtroom, a situation that Hathaway pointed out before starting the hearing, because they probably were afraid that the family was going to jump on this ninja. Okay. Hathaway issued a sentence that included 35 to 60 years in prison on the murder charge, with credit for time served. He was also sentenced to 10 to 15 years in prison for 5 criminal schmexual conduct charges. That's it? 10 to 15 years for 5? That seems very low. All terms will be, people get more time for drugs. All terms will be served concurrently, so they're going to follow each other according to the previous plea. So this dude knew he was going to be in jail for the rest of his life, and because he did this to underage girls, he probably thought that he was going to be great. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to go after this. He also agreed to provide truthful statement regarding the body of Naziah Harris as part of the plea. Butts did not provide the statement during the public part of the Thursday's hearing. Such a statement was provided to authorities, but that information is not being released further. We are satisfied with the statement he has given, they said. The hearing. So this was in regards to the hearing. I just wanted to, so the relatives, this is in regards to him, them talking, right? Them doing their impact statements. But I wanted to just give a little background of this. The overall theme of the remarks given by the Harris relatives focus on how the stress, financial impact, and grief to the loss of, their family member impacted the entire family. Naziah was last seen getting off a school bus on January 9th, 2024 in the area of Cornwall and 3 Mile Drive in Detroit. Jesus. Her body has never been found. Now, a real talk, in order for him, he should have been able, that should have been a part of the plea deal, that he should tell where her body is. That's not, I don't understand how these prosecutors work, but then it's also, it has to deal with the different states, right? So it says Butts pleaded guilty on February 12th in an agreement that settled 6 separate cases, including sexual assault of 4 different minors. As part of the plea agreement, additional charges of criminal sexual conduct will be dismissed. Wayne County prosecutors had previously argued that Butts allegedly started exchanging sexually abusive texts with Harris as early as 2022. One of the most important aspects of the plea agreement was giving Naziah's family some semblance of closure. The disclosure of the location of her body was crucial. Okay, so I think he had to do that. As a condition of the plea to the second-degree murder case, Jarvis was required to give a truthful statement regarding the body of Naziah Harris. So that was the truthful statement as to where she are. We are satisfied with the statement that was given worthy. Okay, so all right, so I think that's the end of that article. So he had to tell where the body was. That's what I wanted to make sure. Okay, so let's see.
Well, Jarvis Butts his own daughter.
To the murder of 13-year-old Naziah
This is
Harris
crazy.
the sentencing of Jarvis Butts. He's the man who pleaded guilty to the murder of 13-year-old Naziah Harris and several other sexual assault cases.
CBS News Detroit Jack Springate was in the courtroom and tells us how Butts' crimes impacted victims and their families as they addressed him for the final time in court.
Well, Jarvis Butts' his own daughter could barely speak through her tears as she called the man she used to consider her father a monster for what he did to her, the other 3 survivors, and of course, Naziah Harris.
His own daughter? Hold on. Hold on. I didn't listen to this. Did they say what he did to her? So he did this to his own daughter? Yo.
Tears as she called the man she used to consider her father a monster for what he did to her, the other 3 survivors, and of course, Naziah Harris.
Wow. Hold on. Hold on. I need
She
to.
called the man she used to consider her father a monster for what he did to her, the other 3 survivors, and of course, Naziah Harris. Chilling impact statements that also spoke for Naziah, including one.
She said, I no longer look at you as a father. I look at you.
The pain Butts caused companies
as they addressed him for the final time in court.
Well, Jarvis Butts' his own daughter could barely speak through her tears as she called the man she used to consider her father a monster for what he did to her, the other 3 survivors, and of course, Naziah Harris.
I no longer look at you as a father figure, no longer as a hero, but I look at you as a mother.
Chilling impact statements that also spoke for Naziah, including one addressing the pain Butts caused coming from his own sister.
I can't understand why he would ever cause that to an innocent child,
Because he's sick.
not just his eye, but to his own children.
Damn.
That have his face.
At several moments during these statements, people had to be escorted out of the courtroom due to emotional outbursts. Another victim said learning what Butts did to Naziah was what compelled her to come forward with what he did to her.
Mr. Butts is already a convicted sex offender when he abused me in 2014. Mr. Butts will never have a chance to be free again, because if he is, there's a great chance he will continue to abuse children in his old age.
Judge Nicholas Hathaway
Wow.
also sentenced Butts
Do
to
y'all
10
see
to 15
this?
years in prison in
What
the
the
cases of
hell?
the 4 other survivors of his sexual abuse, which will all be served at the same time as his murder sentence. He'll be eligible for parole after serving 35 years. And Butts was required to provide a truthful
the
statement
hell?
regarding Naziah's body as part of his plea agreement, but the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office says they're not releasing that to the public. Reporting outside the Wayne County 3rd Circuit Courthouse, I'm Jack Spurgate, CBS News, Detroit.
Jesus. Okay, so he had to tell where the body was. So I'm assuming that they went and got the body, right? He did this to his own daughter. Wow. He did this to his own daughter, right? And it says, so this is the man that murdered 13-year-old Naziah Harris and sexually assaulted 5 other girls as young as 4, was found dead in prison. Her father died searching for her. Her body has still never been found. Now I don't understand this because I'm confused. I could swore that he had to give a truthful statement about her body. So I'm assuming that he had to tell where her body was in order to get this what is the word I'm looking for? To get this plea deal, right? Well, all I'm gonna say is he was found dead. He was found dead in his.
And the man convicted.
He was found dead.
Breaking news from CBS News Detroit.
I'm not praising it. I'm just saying.
Breaking news at noon, the man convicted of murdering 13-year-old Naziah Harris was found dead in his prison cell this morning. A spokesperson for the Michigan Department of Corrections says they tried to save Jarvis Butt's life, but were unsuccessful, and that at this time it appears to have been a suicide. This happened at the Charles Egler Reception and Guidance Center in Jackson. Back in February, Butts pleaded guilty to the murder of Naziah Harris on your screen, along with 5 separate sexual assault cases. Harris was reported missing in January of 2024. The 13-year-old's body has never been found.
Oh,
As part
what?
of the plea agreement, Butts had to disclose what happened to her. He was sentenced to 60 years in prison earlier this month.
Hold up. So he had to say what happened to her, but he didn't have to say where her body is? Well, that's effed up. That's effed up. So now he done killed himself and they still haven't found her body. There's a reason why I finish with this. There's a reason why I'm closing with this. Lord Jesus, they done texted me. This is what we don't want to happen for the Guthrie family and anybody else that has a missing family member, friend, or a missing person, right? Because now he done killed himself. They don't know they know what happened to her body. So he was sick enough to tell them, I did this to her, I did that to her, I did this to her, because I could have swore it said something about someone being pregnant. He impregnated her. So you do all of this. You do all of this, and then you kill yourself, and they still don't. I just feel like the plea deal should have said you have to tell her where. You have to tell her where her body. You have to tell us where her body is, or you're getting the death penalty. I don't understand why that didn't happen. He got 60 years. I mean, but see, this is the problem. Sometimes women's lives don't matter. And if you Black, Jesus Christ, help us. Because he got 60 years. Some people get that for drugs. Why didn't this ninja get life without the possibility of parole? You did this to your own fucking daughter. Your own daughter. You shouldn't. First of all, this ninja shouldn't have never got out of prison, okay? But how many times did Jared from the subway only got 5 years? He was flying and meeting women, girls, not women, girls, underage girls, and he got 5 years. People get more time for that than for having weed on them when weed was illegal in their state. So how in the hell did he only get 60 years? And then it wasn't a part of the plea. Then I don't understand these prosecutors. It wasn't a part of the damn plea deal for you to tell where her body is, but you were able to tell them what you did to her body? Well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, I did this. I cut her feet off. I cut her fingers off. I cut her tongue out. But you're not going to tell. The plea deal doesn't require you to tell where her body is. Oh my God. Y'all, these criminals make me want to be police. I want to be an FBI analyst. This is absolutely insane. Can we get 4 more likes? Can we get 4 more likes to make it 50? 4 more to make it 50. And then I'm closing now though. I'm closing. This was what I was closing with, but at least we can get some solace knowing that this coward, this person that groomed these underage girls, this person that did some horrible things to his own damn daughter, his own daughter, is gone from this planet. But if he was already a SMEX offender, yes, a SMEX offender, then that means that you know in New Jersey that they have a SMEX offenders facility. So they have a lot of correctional facilities in New Jersey, prisons, correctional facilities, and they have one specifically for the SMEX offenders. Because if they go into regular prisons, they're going to be done out here. So 2 weeks into he dies in prison 2 weeks after being sentenced. Why? Because he knew what was coming up the pike for his ass. He knew. But I was telling my mother a story today. He wasn't my cousin. He was my cousin through marriage. Okay. So that was my stepdad's nephew. Him and his friend, Toby, I think I told y'all this story before, was going to Virginia State University in Richmond, Virginia. Is it Virginia State? I think it's Virginia State in Richmond, Virginia. And they came over to New Jersey. They came over to Virginia. We were living in Petersburg. So they were in Richmond. Petersburg is like 15, 20 minutes it's 15, 20 minutes from each other. So he comes over, Major comes over with Toby, right? Toby sees my friend, my best friend's little sister, Teresa. Teresa was in the middle school. Teresa was like 13 or 14. He was in college. I told you they were going to Virginia State University. Okay. All right. They're all ready. Okay. So he was going to Virginia State University. He comes over, Teresa, she doesn't have a daddy in her life. So, she always wear these real little shorts. She's skinny, whatever, very light skin. I'm 13, 14. He took her right in my bedroom and gave her the business. Now, since I'm an adult now. I'm like, this ninja should have been locked up for statutory rape. But how many times have we heard stories like that? Oh, maybe he destroyed that's probably why they didn't talk about. Thank you for that, Raven. Yes, Raven0508. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That will explain it, because I was just like, why wouldn't he tell where the body is? Maybe he destroyed the body. So he had to tell exactly what happened, but that makes sense. That makes sense now. But yeah, so I know that this happens. There's a man that worked he was a custodian. He was grown. He was trying to have sex with me. And I was in high school. So unfortunately, we heard what Brandy said about Wanye, which I'm so happy she told about Wanye, because I don't know if y'all know the history about Wanye, but Wanye is a horrible person. Wanye Morris might be able to sing and dance with Boyz II Men, but he is a horrible human being. He left his children. He left his 5 children and went to be with someone else. So I'm happy, and I hope that okay, so whatever is happening with TLC and Chili and all this, and she done messed up this whole concert, right? Am I wrong that I hope that happens with Boyz II Men? Sorry, the other two, right? But Wanye is a horrible person. And this grooming of these underage girls needs to stop. This ish needs to stop. So thank you to the person who took their like away. All right, guys, I'll see you. People petty, right? I don't care if they don't like what I said. This needs to stop. Now, I feel like we need to have more talks with our girls. But how many people are broken? Right? How many adults are broken and they're looking for love and they don't know what to put into these girls. But when I see young girls, I'm telling them, love yourself. Don't listen to this sweet nothings these boys whispering in your ear, this, that, and the third. Why? Because if these are young people, they're just happy they're getting the attention. They're just happy they're getting the attention, and you're getting the attention of an adult, which they don't realize this man is a pervert if he is trying to mess with a 13-year-old, right? And she was 13. He's been texting her since 2022, so she was 11. What we just sit around and accept it as grown women? We just sit around and accept it? No. So shout out to the people who are standing up and saying this is wrong. Hold these ninjas accountable. This girl's underage. All these girls are underage. He knew what was coming up the pike for his ass. So he said, let me do this before they do this to me. I hope the girls and the victims of this can rest in solace knowing he will never do this to anyone else. And all of the young people that were victims of Meta and YouTube, I hope that they too can rest in peace, knowing that a precedent has been set and that now people can be held accountable for the dirty deeds that they do. Thank you so much, you all. Thank you for joining me tonight for this special episode of Friday Night Frights on a Saturday. And let's continue to pray for everyone we spoke about tonight and everyone that's going through something, no matter what it is. I gotta go. I love you all, but they are texting me like, hey, you said 9:45. It's 9:56. I'll catch you all next time. Thank you to everyone thank you to Unforgivable Sins for moderating. We pray that Mr. Mikey is good, right? We haven't seen him. Mr. Mikey, if you hear the sound of my voice, we pray that you're good, and we pray that whatever that you're going through, that is getting better, and that you see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you to all my membership, to all of this, my family membership, my family that's a part of the membership. Thank you to everyone who is a part of my membership. I think that's the best way for me to say it. And I'll see you all soon. I might not see you tomorrow, but after Monday, I will have some peace. Take care.